up? 108 Praise Radio, Success Movement Radio. I am your host, Sean Wyman. Welcome to the movement. Yes, it is another amazing Wednesday night at 8 p.m. Eastern, and we are live. Thank you so much for joining us wherever you are in the world, whether you are listening to us on the 108praiseradio.com or the 108 Praise Radio app or Facebook Live or Periscope or Instagram or YouTube. No matter where you are, we greatly, greatly appreciate you coming and being a part of this show. My name is Sean Wyman, and tonight I have a very, very, very special guest, just an amazing guy, and we are going to be talking about vision, and we are going to be talking about navigation, because those are two key things, whether, no matter what you're doing in your life, when you have a clear vision of what God's purpose is for you, and you have a clear direction on the path to take and know, what steps in order to get there in the fastest route, well, that's what we're going to be focusing on tonight. So without further, I want to go ahead and bring in my awesome friend, entrepreneur, minister, father, and many, many, many more things, Mr. John McClung Jr. What's up, John? Welcome to the movement, my friend.
John, what's going on, my friend? Listen, first of all, I am humbled, man. I believe that this is divine, what we are about to do, and I certainly appreciate you allowing me to be on this platform. I've been looking forward to it. So today is the day, man, for us to make this happen.
Yes, John, man, so excited to have you on the show. You and I, just so the audience knows, we met through social media, right? We met through this amazing mutual friend, Lisa Halls, right? And
That's right.
She introduced us, and we just immediately had one of those divine connections. And maybe some of you in the audience know what I'm talking about, where you connect with somebody, and even though you've only known them a short period of time, you feel like you're related. The connection is that real, and that's kind of a connection that John and I had. So very, very excited that we get to share this time together, man. So as we're getting started, just share a little bit with the audience about you, who you are, and what you got going on right now.
Man, absolutely, and thank you again. I'm originally from Long Beach, California, man. I'm a LBC guy, currently living and residing in Atlanta. I've navigated through a few cities to get here, and it's a divine location for me. I'm a father of one. I'm an owner of a business, which is the Christian clothing line. I Am a Testimony Clothing. I'm also a co-owner, man, of a media group called Kingdom Connection Media Group. And then I'm an author. I'm a four-time best-selling author. And we have a mutual friend of whom I wrote in her book. I did the forward for Lisa Hall in her book. So I've been blessed to be in a few other books. And, man, listen, I've been blessed to actually be able to pour in people's lives by being a speaker as well. I call myself a life messenger. And so hopefully this evening, some of the things that we talk about, some of the principles that I speak on and that I know you and I share mutually, we'll be able to do, bless, change, and impact some lives.
Yes, amen, amen. So, guys, if you want to call in and you want to talk to John live, you can do that. Simply, matter of fact, our producer is going to throw the number up, so if you're watching, you'll be able to see the number. He's going to put it up. And if you're listening, you can dial 770-415-2149. That's 770-415-2149. All right? So, John, there we go. If vision, right? You and I have had this conversation. We started talking about this a little bit, and it's kind of what got us into this was, growing up. Did you have clear vision on what your true divine purpose was in life?
Man, that's an awesome question, Sean. I did not, and here's the thing. I'm also a PK. I'm a preacher's kid, and I know for me, because of my father being a pastor, a lot of my life was already planned out. because a lot of people thought that I might follow in his footsteps as far as the pastoring. So, from a vision standpoint, that in itself was kind of laid out for me, but it wasn't my vision. It was not who I was. And as I got older, and I know there are some people who may hear us as we are talking about this, who may have their life or may have had their life planned out for them, but something changed all that to go in their own direction. And so I knew that I was not a four walls guy. I knew that I was not going to be standing behind a pulpit from a pastoral standpoint. I knew that my message, because of the type of talent and gift that God had placed in me, that I would be doing it in a different way. And so now, although, Sean, I tell you, man, I ran from it for a minute, because, a lot of us, we get in the wilderness, man, because we want to get away from some things and we get off track. And so now that I'm I'm actually back on track with this message, I've been able to really, really commit and set and get in what my divine purpose is. And so I know that my gifts are service and teaching, and so those are things that I am doing with the variety of things that I have in my life.
That is awesome. So, what were some of the things that you did or that God did for you to help you to find that vision? Man,
He chastised me. He basically, for me, when there is a purpose or a task that you are assigned to, and I want to use the word purpose because I think there's going to be people who hear us that may not believe that there is a purpose for their life, or there is a particular task and assignment that they are supposed to do while they're here on earth. And so for me, I knew and finally found out, Sean, that there was a particular purpose and assignment that I had. And the more I tried to maybe ignore or not accept it, the more intense it became. And so I know that there are individuals who might have a particular burning inside of them from a standpoint of who they are, which is considered a passion. And that is that burning. That is the very thing you should be following on, because you will find yourself, that is your vision. And for me, once I got a hold of the vision that was a part of my life, man, it's been all over me. So I know that, Sean, for me, he began to really move me back in place. And when you're in line and in the will of what God has for you, things begin to align up and they get back on track.
Yeah. So for those of you that are listening, one of the, and I agree, man, I think that when you try to go against the grain, life gets very challenging, right? It gets really difficult.
Yeah.
But when you submit, and I think for me, that's a word that I would use for me personally. I wouldn't use that for you, but for me, when I submitted to God and I truly said, you know what? It's time for me to stop being selfish and stop thinking about what it is that I want to do on this earth and start focusing on what God wants me to do on this earth, because I'm not doing what I want to do. It's not coming through. That door wouldn't open. So for people that are, there's so many people that are stuck, that are blind. They're mentally blind, right? Because mindset has a lot to do with vision, right? Because when you have the right mindset, it opens up your mind to be able to see, right? And we both agree, vision is seeing something, right?
That's absolutely correct. And Sean, in most cases, well, in all cases, that vision is only used 79 times in the Bible, and when that word is being used, sometimes it's just being used as a word that lets you know what it's about or who had it. There's only a handful of individuals in the Bible that had a powerful vision, and that vision was seen down the road, and they had to do the work toward the vision. And so a lot of individuals, and I break down the word vision in 6 different principles. And the first one is that when you look at the letter V in vision, you have to understand that you are the vessel for the vision. And if you don't understand that you're the vessel for that vision, then it's going to be tough to follow. I look at Noah. Noah was the vessel for the vision of the ark. Moses was the vessel for the vision to get the people out of Egypt. You know, Joseph was the vessel for, you know, the famine in the land. He was the one that got together. And then Jesus, above all, was the vessel for allowing us to have eternal life. So no matter what you're following as far as your life, you are the vessel for the vision that's been given to you. As you know, I have spiritual message moments, and that is one of that's my message or way of giving messages through videos, and I'm the vessel for that. And so that is directly given to me, not anybody else. And that's another thing. When you understand that you're the vessel for your vision, it's not going to be given to anybody else. You are responsible for that vision because it's meant just for you.
So, and you know what? I love that. I agree. Everybody has a story. Everybody has a purpose, and everybody's purpose is unique. Even though we were all made in the image of God, we were all designed for our own specific purpose on this earth. Would you agree?
I would agree with that wholeheartedly because, you know, we all have a unique stamp on us. You know, John 3:33 says, "He that has received this testimony has set to his seal that God is true," which says, who you are is stamped and approved by God. He only made one of you. So whatever is given to you is going to be unique to you. It's going to be, you know, we know right now, no one else built an ark. You know, no one else has gone to the cross, you know. So, you know, those stories and what you're able to build as being the vessel for your passion, your mission, your ministry, whatever it may be, you're going to leave an imprint. And that imprint is just like the imprint on your hand, because when your thumbprint is given, no one else has that imprint. And so, absolutely, right. You know, even though we are made in the image of God, there is uniqueness to each and every one of us, and no one has come out the same, and no one has the same vision for their life.
So I think the audience can get value from your vision principle. You said the first one was vessel. So you said there were 6 of them, right?
That's absolutely correct. And I use the word or the acronym and the word vision. So the first one is that you are a vessel for your vision. And the second one is, if you understand that you're the vessel for your vision, the next letter I is that you're going to invest in your vision. Everybody who has a vision, there's going to be some type of spiritual or natural investment in that vision to make it happen. If you look at the longest investment as far as a vision ever made, it was Noah, 120 years. So he invested 120 years in making the ark. So you know, if he invested 120 years and it came true, then you have some investing you're going to do, and that could be in reading, that could be in going to a conference, that could be in, you know, learning a new trade or something that has to do with what you're passionate about. But you're going to make an investment, even if it's blood, sweat, and tears. There's going to be some investing. And then, you know, the third letter, and then I'm going to let you chime in. The third letter is S. And so you're going to make some sacrifices for your vision. Now, you know, I've had my clothing line for 5 years, and you can best believe I messed up a lot of shirts. I had to sacrifice a lot of things, you know, some late nights, some losses. You know, you're going to make some sacrifices for your vision to make it come to life. And if you've never made a sacrifice for something you love, then it's not anything you really love. And it's not really a vision, because there's going to be something in your life that's going to make you have sacrifices for it. And that's part of that vision.
Yeah, keep going, John, because this is gold, man. Absolutely.
Okay, absolutely. So if you look at vision and you know right now that you're the vessel for the vision, you have to invest in your vision. You're making sacrifices for your vision. That next letter I is your vision has to inspire people. If your vision doesn't inspire people, then it's probably not a vision. Because if you look at the individuals in the Bible who had awesome visions, it was inspiring. You know, when Noah built the ark, there was only one ark ever made like that. That's inspiring me because we still talk about it today. You know, you look at Moses, he parted the Red Sea. No one else has parted the sea. So that's inspiring that he was able to do that. But if you look at our today life, you know, the things that people are doing. Sean, you have an awesome radio show. That's inspiring. That's part of your vision. You know, my vision was my clothing line. It came to life. It's inspiring people. I'm a testimony. So if the moment that a vision, a passion, a ministry, you know, a dream, whatever it may be, is laid into your spirit, it's got to be able to inspire people. They want to have their lives changed, impacted, and have value added to it because of your vision. And then if you look at the next letter, the O, man, listen, John, you and I both know that if you have a vision, there's going to be some opportunities for you to do your vision. And so if you understand that you have to be a person that is, you have to have a wide, your vision has to be wide. It can't be narrow. You have to see all the opportunities that come your way that allow you to do what you have been purposed to do in your vision. And what does that mean? Well, it means that there's going to be some people that come in your life that help you get to the finish line with your vision. So you have to be opportunistic when they do come, because they're coming to help you. They're being directed to help you so that you're not out there alone. But if you're narrow-minded in your vision, you're going to miss opportunities to make your vision come true. And so imagine if the people that I speak of in the Bible never really looked at the opportunity to change people's lives with the vision. They were just hard-headed and never did it. Man, we wouldn't be talking about them today. There would be no art. There'd be no Moses or Egyptians that have come. We wouldn't be talking about that story. There's a lot of stories we wouldn't be talking about if they didn't take the opportunity to follow what God had placed upon them. So you have to understand, in your vision, there's going to be some opportunities, and you have to take advantage of those opportunities. And then lastly, when you understand that you're a vessel for your vision, Brother Sean, you are investing in it, you've made sacrifices, you're inspiring people, you've taken the opportunities, know that your vision is necessary. You will never be given a vision if it is not necessary. And that means if it is necessary, you, the visionary, is needed. So you look at every situation that I've spoken of from a standpoint of those individuals in the Bible, and there's a lot more, but these four are my favorite. And think about it. If Noah wasn't necessary, then we would have never had the opportunity to see the refresh of the world from a standpoint of lives being saved. If you look at, if Jesus wasn't necessary, then you look at what would this life be like now. So you have to look at yourself. I believe that spiritual message moments is necessary because there's somebody that needs to hear those little messages. And I have a saying, what you say and what you write may not be for everybody, but it is for somebody. And when that somebody hears it, everybody will know it. So why not be that somebody? And that somebody is the person that's necessary. So you can't walk around with a vision and with a woe is me attitude, because if you've been given one, it's necessary and it's needed. So those are my 6 principles, man, of a vision, because if you understand you're a vessel, you invest, you sacrifice, it's inspiring, it's opportunistic, and you're necessary, you will never get off track about your vision, because you'll understand that when you're the vessel and you're needed, everything in between comes along with making it happen.
Man, that is pure gold, John, pure gold. I almost just want to pause and just let people soak that in for a minute. So let me just rephrase what John just talked about. If you're just jumping on, welcome. You're listening to the Success Movement Radio Show with Sean Wyman and my guest, John McClung Jr. tonight. And we are talking about vision. And John just laid out a beautiful layout or perception of vision, talking about you are the vessel, you the individual, you are the vessel. You have to be willing to invest. And this is something that I can't tell you how many times I emphasize this to people. I tell them, how can you expect others to invest in you until you prove you are willing to invest in yourself? You can't go out as an entrepreneur and ask people to invest in you, in your message, in your story, in your book, in your life, in your everything that you want to get out there, until you are willing to invest in yourself to pull that out, to find the people that have already had the success that you wanted to have, to find the mentors to surround yourself with, to get yourself in the presence and sound mind and judgment with the right people that can move you forward in your life. So investment, huge. Sacrifice. Oh my goodness, man. You have to be willing. You have to be willing to fail, right? Thomas Edison, right? Everybody goes, wow, that guy failed 10 times or 10,000 times. But what he said was, I didn't fail 10,000 times. I just found 10,000 ways not to create the light bulb before I finally figured it out. So how many times is it going to take you to figure out the wrong way to do something so that you can do it the right way? And then inspiring, right? Whatever you do, it does need to be inspiring. And if God truly gives it to you, if it is truly your God-driven purpose, I believe it will be inspiring. And opportunity, man, so important that you have the right opportunities in line, and you will never see the opportunities that are always there. Let's make no mistake about it. Right now, no matter where you're at in your life, opportunity is all around you. It is a blink of an eye away from you going from zero to hero. A blink of an eye away. But if you don't have the right mindset, you will never see the right opportunities. You will always miss them. But when your mindset is aligned in the right direction, and we're going to get into that here in a little while, where you find the right path, when everything lines up, the opportunities begin to show up. And I think it's also important, John, I want you to talk about this a little bit.
Sure.
Would you say that opportunities will not come until God believes you're ready for them?
Oh, my goodness, man. Listen, stop it. I hope people got something to write with, because, there's some nuggets and jewels and diamonds and rubies being thrown out here. But absolutely, that's been a conversation for me over the last couple of days, because it is extremely important to understand that preparation, as far as being prepared for what comes your way. Think about this. There are individuals who will hear the sound of our voice who may have a particular burning, from a standpoint of something they want to do. So if you want to be a singer, what happens if you have an opportunity, you never practiced singing, or you never wrote the songs down, or when they got your voice lessons? Then you're going to either be nervous or you're going to pass up the opportunity. You have to think of whatever area that you are assigned to as far as your life, from a standpoint of the vision, the passion, the ministry, all of those areas. You need to be prepared. You need to make sure that when your opportunity comes, then that you are all over it. And so, I know that including myself, man, there have been moments and opportunities that were like, it was pulling my shirt because it was so close. And I'm like, well, I'm not ready. I'm not prepared. Or one of our worst enemies comes to play and knocks on your, on that door and says, fear is here. You can't go that way. So prepare yourself for the opportunities that is coming to you, because the moment that connection is made, man, the floodgate and the windows of blessings begin to open, and they pour out more than you can handle. So I would rather be prepared and have small opportunities than not be prepared and have a big opportunity.
I agree, man. And here's the thing, right? People will ask for a mansion even though they don't know how to take care of their own house, right? God is not going to give you a mansion if you can't take care of your little 1,500 square foot house.
That's right.
Oh
my goodness, yes, sir.
Right? If you're buried in debt, God's not going to give you wealth, right? Amen. If you're misappropriating your finances, why would God give you more responsibility to screw up? You've already, what I mean? So those opportunities, you have to prove yourself. It's not something that's just handed over to you, right? And unfortunately, we live in a society today where everything is instant gratification. We want it right now. And God does not work that way. And I think you talked about that with Noah, right? Noah was 120 years.
20 years, man. Imagine what he had to go up against, in those 120 years.
Yes, the ridicule and the judgment, and oh yeah, Noah, sure, it's going to rain any time now. What? Right? And they're just making fun of them and laughing at them. But in the end, and we're going to close out with this as we go to break, and we'll be back with John here in just a minute. As we finish this out, the last part of this, necessity. The vision has to have some necessity. It has to have a necessary purpose to it. There's got to be, and God isn't going to give you something that's not necessary. He's not going to give you something that's not needed. And we'll get more back into that as we go or as we come back from break. We're going to take a little break. We're going to let you guys listen to a little bit of Casting Crowns, and then John and I will be right back. You're listening to Success Movement Radio right here on 108 Praise Radio, where we're all about voicing the gospel. What's up, everybody? Welcome to the movement. You are live on 108 Praise Radio. And if you have been with us for the last 30 minutes, you're probably still writing right now by what my guest John McClung Jr. has been talking about vision. And while we were on break, John and I were talking about opportunity a little bit more. And one of the things I wanted to share with you guys was going from, we were before the break, we were talking about how God will not allow you to have things until you prove you're ready for what you ask for. So if you're asking for a mansion, but you can't take care of your house, God's not going to give you a mansion. Well, it kind of goes along the lines of this radio show. When I got started in radio almost a year ago now, I started on a little thing called Blog Talk Radio. And I had maybe 50 people live a show, and I thought it was awesome. I was like, wow, this is so amazing. And then God moved me because he knew I was ready. He moved me to a larger audience. Now I'm on the Gospel Radio Network, 108 Praise Radio, and my first show was 26,000 people live. And every show, thank you so much to everyone that continues to listen. Every show is getting bigger and bigger and bigger. Why? Because I'm proving to God that I'm ready for the opportunity. And I want you to think about that. No matter what your opportunity is, no matter how big or how small, don't underestimate the power of preparation and being ready for the next move. Because if you're ready, you'll get it a lot faster. And if you're not ready, chances are you won't get it at all. Isn't that right, John?
That's an awesome point because, for those who are, your listeners, a lot of individuals may find themselves in a place that they were not expecting to be. And they may even think about, because the opportunities are not coming the way they want them to, that they're stuck there, and they're really not. When you have two of my favorite words, belief and faith, and sometimes you can find yourself not believing and not having faith, but when you know that the vision is real, and see, you have to convince yourself from that with that belief and faith, my vision is real. Yeah, you might be in a situation where you are expecting or you are seeing yourself do something, but I think your point is valid because, I look at, to piggyback off of what you're saying, I started Spiritual Message Moments doing the videos, and, it was an assignment given to me that I initially didn't want to take from the Lord. I fought it for a couple of weeks, and one day I said, you know what, Lord, okay, I like it, and Sean, I like your word submit. I said, okay, I'm going to submit. I'm going to commit myself to it on a week-to-week basis. It started out, and I'm thinking from a ministerial standpoint that, it's not a few people, only a few people will hear it. But see, here's the thing that you have to look for as far as opportunities too, Sean. You got to move yourself out the way. Because a lot of times we begin to think of who that it's about us, and it's not. And you will not take the assignment on. And then when you don't take the assignment on, there will never be any opportunities that come your way. So when you talk about the assignment of doing the blog talk, you took the assignment on. Now you're doing something large. I took the assignment on of doing the Spiritual Message Moment. It went from a couple of people watching to 600 or 700, 800, here and there, to more than 1,000, being shared to 20 and 30, 40 times, which is another few thousand. But now the relationship between you and I has got me in front of, from a voice standpoint, 30,000 people for me to be able to talk about those particular same subjects, which is vision, which I've done a video on, and I committed myself to it, to where now I can actually share it with an audience that I never expected to share it with. And so you're absolutely right, my friend.
So you and I were talking about this on break, and this is where we're going. And I'm going to be honest with you. Some of our audience, your heart might get a little damaged here in the next few minutes because we're going to get real on a couple things, right?
Absolutely.
We're going to talk about some things that some people just aren't comfortable talking about. But let's face it. How many people in the audience today have the I want it syndrome? I want to be wealthy. I want to be successful. I want to have my own. I want to have my freedom. I want to have my time. I want to have a family. I want to do this. I want. And they have this vision. I want a family. I want 2 kids. I want to live in a house. I want a white picket fence. I got this whole beautiful vision. and then the brakes slam on because they never take the action to move forward with what they want. Everybody, it is so easy to tell everybody what you want. John, I want you to talk about this because I know for you, right, you wanted to have a successful clothing business.
That's
so
right.
How did that work out for you?
And, you know, man, okay, so I really do hope people are writing this down because here's the thing, too, Sean, and you and I, again, we both know this. The very things that we speak on are things that have happened to us because unless you can identify with people who are going through this, and it has nothing to do with the level of success, it has to do with the level of experience. And so we've experienced some things like having the brakes really hit because we didn't get out of the blocks. You know, I have a friend who is a world-class sprinter, and one of the things he told me was there is a way to get in the blocks to get ready for your race, and then there's a way to get out the blocks to win the race. And so some people are just stuck in the blocks and never get in the race. And so if you don't take any action, you know, if you don't exercise, you don't stretch, you know, you don't do some wind sprints, you know, to win this race. And that means if you don't study, if you don't apply yourself, if you don't retain, you don't learn, you don't teach, you know, you don't do the things that are applicable to your vision for you to get in the race and actually get a chance to run, then you'll be standing on the sidelines. And a lot of individuals right now are standing on the sidelines of their vision because they won't get out of the blocks.
That's right. So what were some of the things that you did when you got the vision for your clothing? What did that look? Well, first of all, just share real quick your vision on, you know, why you decided to start your clothing business, and then the steps that you took going towards not just a clothing business, because that in and of itself is challenging enough, but you took it to the next level because you became a faith-based entrepreneur. And for all of the faith-based entrepreneurs out there, huge shout out to you because it is more challenging than ever, not just to express your faith out in normal life, but to bring it out in your business and be worried about whether people will buy from you or not buy from you because of your faith.
Man, listen, and again, I'm going to piggyback off your shout out because there is something different between the spiritual and the natural business. And the spiritual business goes through a lot more challenges. And I think it's because of the testing. So let me say this. There are a lot of individuals who are in the faith-based industry who have started their business out of pain. They've started from a hurtful experience in some way. And so for me, I was going through one of the what I felt the worst times in my life. I was going through a very damaging divorce. You know, one, because I never expected it, and two, I never expected it. So for me, I had an opportunity. It was the first time I ever did a radio show. It was a Blog Talk. I was a co-host for a friend, and at the end of the show, Sean, I would say I am a testimony. And the reason why I would say that is because I can remember all of the things that happened, and I was still standing. You know, I was still doing what I wanted to do from a standpoint of life. And so one day the Lord just laid that vision on me. Listen, I want you to create an apparel line called I Am a Testimony, because there's a lot of individuals who have a testimony, but they won't share it because there's a challenge of approaching people to share their story. Well, what if you wore apparel that could change, add, and impact a person's life, and it was called I'm a Testimony? And the way that you share your story is when someone walks up to you and says, oh, my God, I love that shirt, or why are you a testimony? There's two things that's going to happen. One, you're going to share your story, and then two, they're going to share theirs, and two people are now having a conversation about what God has done for them. And so
yes,
as I looked at that, you know, going through that pain, you know, going through that experience, you know, and again, there was five things that I was reminded of, and I would tell you, and this is one of my videos that I talk about, and it's how to get back on track, and I use the word TRACK. I use the word track, and a lot of individuals, they get derailed, they lose focus, on what God has given to them because they get off track. And so if you look at the word track, it's trust God, rely on God, acknowledge him, cast your cares on him, and know him for yourself. If you do those 5 things in any industry, especially from a spiritual-based industry, if you trust God in all you do, if you rely on him, you know, my favorite verse is Proverbs 3, 5, and 6, trust in the Lord with all thine heart and lean not to thine own understanding. In all thy ways acknowledge him, and he shall direct thy paths with an S. That means you get a lot of things you can do when you acknowledge God. So if you trust, rely, acknowledge, and cast your cares and know him for yourself, you'll get back on track. And that's what I had to do in reference to the business and my life, all of those things. And I'm still doing that today because, again, we still have our moments where, well, we get, you know, knocked to the left and knocked to the right, and we get off track a little bit. But the moment that you begin to trust, rely, acknowledge, and cast, and know God again, or not necessarily again, but continually, you'll get back on track. And so that is what direction was given to me, man, from a standpoint of how do you do your business? Well, you know, you stay on track. You know, when that vision is given you, you do everything possible to make that vision come to life. And yeah, it's not going to be easy. Nothing is. Because if it was, man, it'd be a whole lot of people that would have built an ark. And so, so that is my path, you know, from a standpoint of staying on track, doing those 5 things, Sean, and I guarantee that life, that the will of God will stay upon you and you will be able to do whatever's necessary.
Wow, man, that is amazing. And guys, you are listening to 108 Praise Radio. This is the Success Movement Radio Show. My good friend John McClung Jr. just dropping massive nuggets, man. So we're talking about the direction, right? You get that vision, you see the path. For what would be some advice you would give to somebody that has the vision, sees the path, but is afraid to take the first step? What would you say to that person? If somebody came to you, John, and said, John, I know you're successful now. I know you're going through these challenges. Listen, man, I got this phenomenal vision for my own clothing line, and I'm super excited about it, and I see the direction to get there, but I just got to be honest with you, man. I'm scared to death that what if it doesn't work, John? What if it doesn't work? What do I do?
Awesome question. And so here's what I would say. You know, I would say, I would give them my vitamin Ds. This is what I would do. I would give them 5 things that they would definitely have to take on a day-to-day basis. 5 vitamins that you could take on a day-to-day basis that will move you in a direction that we're speaking of. And the reason I like to break things down, man, is because people need right now answers. They need to be able to do the things that they are asking, like you said, if someone came up to me. So my vitamin Ds is this. First of all, my first question would be, do you desire to do it? And so if you desire to do it, then that's part of the vitamin. And so if that's the case, then move into the next one. Decide to do it. So when you have that desire of whatever it is that you're questioning, and it's the thing that you want to do, then decide to do it. The next vitamin, dedicate yourself to it. Delight yourself in it, because have fun doing it. Because when you dedicate yourself to it, it's like being committed to it. Dedicate it to where it's all about, everything when you breathe, you eat, you sleep it, dedicate yourself to it, then delight yourself in it. And you got to have fun on the trail. And then lastly, deliver. Because see, when you desire it and you make that decision to do it, at the end of everything, you got to deliver. You got to bring that thing to life. So that's my vitamin D's, bro.
Hey, we got a phone call, man. You ready to take a phone call?
Man, let's do it.
Let's do it, man. Courtney, put them on the line for us. Hey, welcome to the movement. You're live with Sean and John on 108 Praise Radio. Who are we speaking to? Hello? Okay.
Did we lose?
Okay,
no?
so the phone call is not on now.
They had to go write those. They had to go write those vitamin D's down.
They had to go write those down. They were like, you know what? This is more important. That's right. So hey, after you write those nuggets down, give us a call back. The cell phone number you can call us at. Right, the cell phone number you can call us at is, I know it's here somewhere, 719. I'm like looking all over for it. Hang on one second, John.
Okay.
My producer was supposed to throw the number up. I'm going to throw my producer. When in doubt, guys, this is a radio host tip. When in doubt, throw the producer under the bus. Throw the producer under the bus. So we are, there we go, 770-415-2149. 770-415-2149. We've got about 5 more minutes left if you want to call in and ask John a question specifically. And we would love to hear from you guys. We'd love to hear, anything that you have to say about the show or any questions that we can answer for you. That's what it's all about. So with that being said, so they take that first step. So what is some of the things that you did, man, when fear got in the way and obstacles and self-doubt and things like that? Because that is something that not just faith-based entrepreneurs in general, people in life, they face obstacles. And a lot of times the evil spirit, if you will actually use obstacles to detour us, to keep us from going down the path that God wants us to go down.
Yeah. Again, if you look at, if we go back to what we spoke about from a standpoint of vision, write the vision and make it plain. And then where there is no vision, the people perish. And my analogy to where the vision is to where the person is with the vision, the people perish. So first thing that you really have to believe is that despite all the things that are happening in your life, there's going to be 5 things for sure that's going to happen. And I use the word score. You're going to have setbacks. You're going to have challenges. You're going to have obstacles. You're going to have resistance. And above all, you're going to have excuses. And so if you look at, to me, one of the things I realized and I had to understand, in order for me to win, I have to score first. So I have to get over those things and go get through those things. I had to get through setbacks and struggles. I had to get through challenges and obstacles. And for me, you have to see down the road to know that everything in between. Take the step. Don't sit in the blocks frozen. Don't worry about where you are because you're in the right now moment. And the only thing you do have is the right now moment. So right now is waiting for you to take the first step if you've never taken it. Right now is waiting for you to continue the step if you've taken that first step. And so for me, when it came to fear, God has not given us the spirit of fear, and it's a spirit. So remove that spirit. Pray it out of you if you have to. Remove that spirit and then replace it with love and power and a sound mind. And I tell people, if you look at the 3 spirits that God has given you, which is love, power, and a sound mind, He gave you power in the middle because He knew you needed strength to hold love, and He knew you needed strength to have, a sound mind. So those things are pertinent to you moving forward. Use the power that God has given you to move in the direction that you're supposed to go, and never listen. You're going to get knocked down. So you have to get up. You have to grow up. You have to go up, and you never give up. And so when you look at those 4 things, it will take you through that mountain because you can't go around it. You got to go through it.
There you go. There you go. From the man himself, John McClung Jr., just bringing massive, massive value tonight, John. John, how do people get in touch with you that want to connect with you, whether it's to get their I Am Testimony T-shirt or to maybe get one of your best-selling books or to even find out about a conference I just heard wind of that's happening here in Atlanta around November-ish? So just let people know how they can get in touch and reach out to you, man.
Absolutely. Listen, in every social media, well, not every, I would say in my Instagram is Testimony I Am, or no, I'm sorry, my Instagram is I Am a Testimony. My clothing line website is IamATestimonyClothing.com. If you're on Facebook, it's under John McClung Jr. Same thing on LinkedIn. And then also just look up I Am a Testimony on Facebook or Friends of I Am a Testimony. That is me. And so, my book is on Amazon. It's called I Am a Testimony Inside the Relationship Mind of a PK. It's a book that I wrote in 2001 and published it in 2015. Go figure. I never stopped. So, yeah, so those are the ways to get in contact with me. And as far as, and I'll share this with you because you're my man. Yeah, I'm doing my first conference in November, Quiet as It's Kept. It's called the Steps of a Good Man Conference. So I'm doing my first all men's conference in November.
And a lot of this audience is based out of Atlanta. So a lot of people could really benefit from a conference like this where this is going to be a men's conference, right?
That is correct. Yeah, it'd be an all men's conference.
Yeah, that's phenomenal, man. So listen, guys, if you want to get in touch with John, reach out to him, talk to him. The guy's got massive value. He's got a huge heart. And John, I just want to thank you for taking your time to being on the Success Movement Radio Show tonight, my friend.
Listen, man. Listen, this platform is awesome, man. Listen, and you and I are brothers from another, and to be able to, I'm humbled to be able to come on and share with your audience, and then know that you have that belief and that trust in me to come aboard and bring some spiritual nuggets, man. That hopefully that somebody heard tonight that will help their life.
Absolutely, absolutely. So hey, guys. Leave your feedback on the show so we know how we did over at the Facebook page for 108 Praise Radio. Let us know. Throw a like out to 108 Praise Radio. Again, my name is Sean Wyman. As we close this out, I just want to give a special shout out to our amazing artist of the day. Her name, if I can find it here. I got all my notes and I lose all my notes. And I can't throw my producer under the bus for that one because I wrote them on my own. So her name is Dana Belcher. Dana Belcher. And we're getting ready to play her song right now as we close this out called Do Not Be Afraid. So huge shout out to Dana Belcher. You can check her out on YouTube and all her other amazing music there. John, thank you so much again. Everybody that came and joined this show tonight, thank you so much. Make sure you stay tuned because Success Movement Radio will be back next Wednesday with another amazing show focused on all about voice in the gospel. Take care. God bless everybody. Have a great night.